In the neon-soaked streets of Cyberpunk 2077, corruption and corporate exploitation run rampant like a disease flowing through the veins of the beast we know as Night City. Although this disease, rather than acting as a poison, acts more like a fuel instead, perpetually driving the lawless city deeper into darkness. And to be honest with you, I don't think any side quests in the game reflects this idea better than the Sinnerman questline. Yo, what's up guys, it's Chris over at Breezy's Gaming Corner, and I just wanted to let you know that if you enjoy Cyberpunk related content, be sure to subscribe as I post videos weekly. And if you enjoy this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit that like button, as it will greatly help this channel out. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The story begins with a man named Bill Jablonski. Bill reached out to Wakako for a contract to kill a man named Joshua Stevenson, who is responsible for the murder of his wife. After V arrives to meet with Bill, the two tail an NCPD cruiser that is housing Joshua. Shortly into the chase, they come up on a road that is blocked by a big semi-truck. They get out of the car, and while trying to run up to the police cruiser, Bill is shot in the head by NCPD officer Vasquez, who is in charge of driving and protecting Joshua. And unfortunately, the only way that you could potentially save Bill is by failing this side quest completely by just not engaging in the chase.
Beat it! Get the fuck out! You're useless!
Unfortunately, doing it this way really pisses off Bill, and he's kind of an asshole about it, so I've just been letting him die in every one of my playthroughs.
During the commotion, Joshua exits the vehicle and is a lot different than you would picture a convicted murderer to be. He's peaceful and seemingly friendly.
Wait! No, stop! Stop the killing! They're here to kill you! It's not their fault. Shoot the guy, and our deal is dead.
He requests the help of V, but doesn't state exactly what it is yet. Intrigued by the building mystery, Johnny strongly urges V to get in the car and figure out what the hell is going on.
Ha! That's it. Got no fucking idea what this is about. But if you don't go with them, I'm never talking to you again.
Once getting in the car, they drive to the house of a woman named Gloria, who is the mother of one of Joshua's victims. On the way there, Joshua confides in V about his past actions.
But behind bars, you get all the time in the world to think. And I thought to correct the errors of my ways.
Why'd you shoot him?
I was holding a gun. I didn't like the way they looked at me, and I had the power to stop them. I still see their faces just before it. Frozen in time. God, give me strength to never forget.
Once at Gloria's house, her daughter Zulika answers, and she tells us her mother isn't home but invites us in for a moment. While walking to the kitchen, we pass by a memorial of Reuben, the victim of Joshua. This reinstates the gravity of his actions, grounding them in reality. Once at the table, Zulika explains just what is going on here, and how she came to forgive Joshua.
Zuleika is the sister of the man I killed. She wrote me letters while I was doing time. That is how we two were united. Through forgiveness.
You're the reason Joshua found redemption.
I lost a brother. God gave me another. Joshua, he thinks he's the Messiah and wants to end his own life.
That is not true. I never said I was any sort of Messiah.
I still don't get what's happening here, Zuleika.
When they put Joshua away, the scream sheets devoted space to him on page 5. But when they discovered he'd found God, suddenly he was on primetime TV. Instead of being executed in prison, he agreed to let brain-down studio vultures record his agony as he's being crucified.
We get a little insight into Joshua's point of view here too.
The Lord knows I regret killing Reuben, but if not for him, I never would have found the path to God.
Shortly into the conversation, Reuben's mom Gloria gets home and kicks us out as she is reasonably upset over her son's death and can't bring herself to forgive Joshua.
You murdered my son. Out, all of you!
This whole situation seems weird mainly because it's been really hard to get a good read on Joshua. Is he using God as a get out of jail free card? Are these his true feelings that he's acting out with conviction? Or is he just plain going crazy from the guilt that he's feeling? None of this is clear at the moment. After leaving Gloria's house, we go to a pizza place, but before entering the restaurant, Rachel, the studio exec in charge of the BD production, asks V to stop talking with Joshua.
You're fucking with his mind, asking probing questions. You're making him doubt, and most importantly, jeopardizing my investment. So I'm prepared to pay you double what he's promised you to quietly walk away.
Don't do it, V.
If we accept her deal, the questline ends and V exits the story, relinquishing any involvement with Joshua or the BD. Declining continues the questline. She even admits to knowing that Joshua could be crazy, but says that he would be a goldmine for the studio.
Stevenson could be a fat old fucking gold vein for our studio.
It's becoming more and more clear that this is just blatant corporate exploitation at the expense of Joshua.
Guy just might be the biggest nutjob I've ever seen, but it's still corporate exploitation.
This situation also makes Johnny point out the parallels in Joshua's situation to ours.
He's fucked in the head. The world's fucked in the head. And you're fucked in the head because my fucked up head is inside it. Guess if you want to save the world, that's the first step. Get fucked in the head.
A day or two later, V is called by Rachel urgently requesting that we come down to the studio as Josh is having a mental breakdown.
We've got a crisis on our hands. Could really use your help. Stevenson's breakdown, nothing any shrink can do about it. Can you come here to the studio just to talk to him?
On arriving at Fourth Wall Studios, there is a mob of angry protesters voicing against the production of this brain dance, calling it religious blasphemy. Now, once at the studio, Joshua says he just wanted you by his side and he's feeling scared about all of this given that he's about to die. Unfortunately, no matter what choices you try to make to persuade him or dissuade him, Joshua is going to go through with this no matter what. He always chooses to stay true to his conviction and goes through with the BD to the very end. V can, however, choose how involved we are by choosing whether we watch the BD from the sidelines, leave and take no part in the BD whatsoever, or be an active role in the BD, being the one that nails Joshua to the cross, killing him. No matter what choice is made, however, the BD will always be filmed. This quest may not have a lot of player choice involved in it, but what it really excels in is moral complexity. This quest from the beginning paints a bad picture of Joshua from the start.
No, not just anyone. Joshua Stevenson, a fucking murderer. Stevenson murdered my wife. They convicted him, put him on death row. But the slime bag found a get-out-of-jail-free card. Over my dead fucking body.
A murderer with a trail of victims and heartbroken families in his wake. This is a stark contrast to the Joshua that we meet after having his supposed spiritual awakening, almost immediately creating a feeling of conflict.
Wait! No, stop! Stop the killing! They're here to kill you! It's not their fault. Shoot the guy, and our deal is dead.
We are taken on a short journey showcasing what Joshua's actions have done to the people who indirectly crossed his path. This is again conflicted when Rachel admits to exploiting Joshua for the success of the studio, showing contempt for his mental well-being. Is it morally justified to exploit a man such as him? Some could argue yes, and they would be completely justified because his past actions are truly unforgivable. Although you can't help but start to feel bad for this guy, even though it's not up for debate whether he's a murderer or not. He is, and he has ruined the lives of many people around him. The question then ends up being, can somebody like that really change? Is the forgiveness of one person enough to completely turn the life around of a cold-blooded murderer? Is it more likely that Josh has a control issue and a god complex, using the guise of a religious awakening as a tool to allow him to die on his own terms? The cool but difficult part of this quest is that none of these questions are ever answered. There's always a different angle you can look at things from, which paints Josh in a completely different light. If one were to argue that Josh were completely ingenuine about this whole thing and that he was using it to control his fate, that would be valid, and you could find some arguments to prove that. The same goes for the reverse. If somebody said that him going through with this at the end of the quest solidifies that he really did change and was telling the truth, that is also valid, and you can also back that up with evidence. These types of things are what make Cyberpunk 2077 such a special game. The game is chock full of quests that are completely up to player interpretation, and I love stuff like that and find it really cool. What are your thoughts on the Sinnerman questline? Do you think Joshua was being genuine? Is his exploitation justified because of his past? Fire away in the comments below, because this quest is way too nuanced to not have some conversation about it. And if you like this video in any way, I would greatly appreciate if you hit that like button, as it helps the channel out a ton. And if you like Cyberpunk or Cyberpunk related content, be sure to subscribe, as I post content weekly. And with that being said, that's all I got for you this week. I hope you take great care of yourselves, and peace.